The story begins with the soft glow of chandeliers in a luxurious five-star hotel, where a man named Adrian steps confidently through the doors with a woman clinging to his arm. She is not his wife, but his mistress, a stunning beauty in a sparkling red dress whose smile radiates pride at being seen beside him. Adrian, dressed in a tailored gray suit, oozes the smug confidence of a man who believes he has everything under control: his wealth, his reputation, and his secrets. As they approach the front desk, he hands his credit card to the smiling receptionist, his mistress resting her chin on his shoulder, whispering promises of the passionate weekend ahead. Adrian believes this hotel, with its marble floors and shimmering chandeliers, is the perfect place to indulge his betrayal away from prying eyes. He chuckles to himself, convinced no one could ever link him here, far from his respectable life at home. But as fate would have it, destiny is already preparing a trap, waiting only for the right moment to shatter his illusion of control. As Adrian leans closer to his mistress, whispering sweet lies of love and devotion, he feels invincible. The receptionist, professional and smiling, confirms his reservation without hesitation. His mistress, wrapping her arms tighter around him, closes her eyes in bliss, believing she is finally winning more of his heart. Adrian prides himself on balance, keeping his wife at home, perfect and loyal, while giving his mistress just enough to keep her enchanted. He believes he is too clever, too sharp, too powerful to ever be caught. As the receptionist slides the key card across the counter, Adrian smirks and takes it, ready to disappear into a suite of indulgence. But just as he begins to turn away, a faint sound of clicking heels echoes through the lobby. The sound grows louder, commanding, until the entire energy of the room shifts. Adrian does not notice at first, lost in the smug embrace of his mistress, but the receptionist straightens abruptly, her smile tightening into something more cautious. The mistress's laughter dies in her throat. Adrian finally turns his head toward the sound, and freezes. There, framed by the opulence of crystal chandeliers and velvet curtains, stands a woman in a dark blue tailored suit. Her hair is pinned neatly back, her face sharp, controlled, yet filled with undeniable power. She is not simply any woman, she is Isabella, Adrian's wife. His heart stutters as his blood runs cold, because he knows in that instant that he is caught. Not just caught in adultery, but something far worse. The mistress, confused, looks between Adrian and Isabella, unaware of the storm brewing. Adrian stammers, his confident mask cracking, his lips parting but no words escaping. Isabella crosses her arms, her heels clicking once more against the polished floor as she steps forward, her presence drawing the attention of every hotel staff member in the lobby. Adrian tries to laugh nervously, hoping to play it off, but something about Isabella's composure unsettles him. This is not the look of a wife blindsided. This is the look of a woman in full control. The receptionist bows slightly and greets Isabella with the reverence one reserves for authority, calling her Madam Owner. The words crash against Adrian's ears like thunder. His wife is not a guest here, not an intruder, but the very woman who owns this empire of wealth and luxury. His heart pounds as realization sets in. He thought he was clever, booking a hotel far away from suspicion, but it was her hotel, her domain, the one place he could never have imagined she would control. The mistress's grip loosens around his arm as she looks at Isabella with wide, uncertain eyes. Adrian's throat dries, his voice finally breaking as he forces a weak smile. Isabella, I didn't expect to see you here. But Isabella only tilts her head, her lips curling into the faintest hint of a smile that carries no warmth, only knowledge. She has seen everything. She knows everything. Adrian scrambles mentally, searching for excuses, for lies that could explain away the intimate embrace, the hotel reservation, the mistress draped across him like a prized possession. But his mind betrays him, the words refuse to come. Isabella watches him with patient silence, her arms still folded, as though giving him the rope to hang himself. The mistress shifts uncomfortably, realizing the gravity of the situation, her once bold smile fading into guilt and fear. Adrian tries again, his voice cracking, "This isn't what it looks like," but Isabella cuts him off with a sharp laugh, a sound that silences the room. "No, Adrian. For once, it is exactly what it looks like." The power dynamic has shifted completely. Adrian, once so sure of himself, is now small, exposed, and vulnerable in the empire his wife built while he played the role of the deceiver. Isabella steps closer, her heels clicking like a judge's gavel in a courtroom, each step deliberate, each movement laced with authority. She stops only inches away, her eyes locked on his, her voice calm and devastating. You thought you were untouchable, didn't you? That I was just your quiet wife at home, waiting, blind, while you played games in shadows. But this hotel, this empire, it's mine. Everything you thought was yours, was only ever borrowed. Adrian feels the eyes of staff and guests piercing into him, watching his humiliation unfold in real time. His mistress, now trembling, quietly steps back, her glamorous facade crumbling. For the first time, Adrian feels the weight of his arrogance, the trap he walked into by thinking himself untouchable. Isabella's power is undeniable, and he realizes the truth: he has lost before the battle even began. The mistress mutters something under her breath, an apology or perhaps a desperate attempt to distance herself from the scandal, but Isabella silences her with a single glance. Adrian reaches out, trying to touch Isabella's arm, pleading now, his confidence shattered. Isabella, please, let me explain, he begins, but Isabella steps back, rejecting his touch. Her composure remains flawless, every word dripping with controlled fury. Explain. You came here with her. You paid for a room in my hotel. You thought you could humiliate me under my own roof. There is no explanation, Adrian. Only consequences. The silence that follows is deafening. Adrian feels cornered, stripped of the power he once believed invincible. His mistress lowers her eyes, ashamed, and begins to edge toward the exit, realizing her glittering fantasy has turned into a nightmare. Adrian's desperation grows, his words tumbling out incoherently. He begs, swears it was meaningless, promises to change. But Isabella does not flinch. She raises her chin higher, her voice steady as stone. This is not about her, Adrian. It's about you. Your greed, your arrogance, your belief that you could betray without consequence. I built this life while you squandered it. And now, you've lost the last shred of dignity you had. The staff remains silent, their eyes lowered, yet their respect for Isabella radiates throughout the room. Adrian realizes, with gut-wrenching clarity, that his wife has not only exposed him but stripped him of every illusion of superiority he once held. He is no longer the man in control. He is the man undone. With a final glance, Isabella delivers the sentence that seals his fate. You may leave, Adrian. But understand this, you walk out of here with nothing. This hotel, this empire, this name, it belongs to me. You belong to the past. Her voice carries through the lobby, echoing with power, and Adrian knows there is no redemption, no coming back from this. His mistress slips out quietly, vanishing into the night, leaving him utterly alone. The receptionist, still poised, awaits Isabella's signal, and with a simple nod, she turns her attention away from Adrian, as if he no longer exists. Adrian's hands tremble, his body heavy with defeat. He wants to fight, to argue, to plead, but the look in Isabella's eyes tells him it's over. As Isabella turns and walks away, the staff subtly part for her, acknowledging her as the rightful queen of this empire. Her heels echo against the marble floor, each step a victory, each movement a declaration of strength. Adrian remains frozen in place, the weight of his betrayal pressing down until he feels suffocated. The chandeliers above still sparkle, the hotel still shines, but for him, the world has gone dim. He had thought he could control everything, his wife, his mistress, his image, but in the end, it was Isabella who held the true power. The scene closes on Adrian's hollow face, broken and humiliated, while Isabella ascends the grand staircase, untouchable, victorious, and free. The story ends not with his lies, but with her truth, proof that in the game of deceit, arrogance is always the downfall, and strength is found in those who rise above betrayal.